feel like we should give you all popcorn or something. So next time I'm going to talk to Renee and see what we can do, because I feel like you all deserve that. Anyway, I'm so excited for you guys to meet the cast and the producers of this amazing show. All the episodes drop November 18th on Hulu. So without further ado, let me introduce, she plays Izzy. Please welcome Esther Povitsky.
No mic for me, that's cool.
Next up, she plays Stella Cole. Please welcome Shay Mitchell. Then she plays Madison. Please welcome Brenda Song. From TV Guide, she goes from a broke girl to a broken-hearted woman as Jules. Please welcome Dennings.
Why did I do it this way?
Yeah, you're saying they should do it from the other side. I know, it's hard.
Don't worry about it. This
next guy, he is producing partners with Margot Robbie. I think you've heard of her. She has a really strong career, I feel like, ahead of her. He is also executive producer on Dollface. Please welcome Hedblom. Next up, this is her first series. I could literally do an entire panel asking her about every single thing, but please welcome creator, writer, and executive producer Jordan Weiss. And finally, if you call yourself a Friends fan, which if you're at Paley Center right now, I'm assuming you've seen every episode about 10 different times. You know this guy. He is executive producer Ira Ungerleider. All right. So first, I need to find out here, who is the Entourage fan on the show? There's so many Entourage references and everything. So who's the Entourage person?
I would say I'm less a fan and more making fun of men who love Entourage. But it is a really funny show. But I'm not like a super fan, it's like a little mean.
I really love that so much.
Thanks, everybody. Good night.
There you go. Okay, Jordan, tell me first, how did this idea first come to you, and what was the pitch process like?
The idea first came to me mostly via life experience, and having been a Jules and been a Madison, and I think struggled to put myself out there with friendships, especially my college years, as much as I could have. And then, coming out of that time, going through a breakup, not dissimilar to the one on the show, and realizing that I needed to put more time into my girlfriends and sort of reassess putting myself out there in female friendship. And so that's where the idea came from. And then the pitch process, I wrote it as a sample. I just sort of wrote it as my writing sample when I was an assistant out of college. I was working for a different comedy writer at the time. And one of our executive producers, Scott Morgan, who was working on I, Tonya with his company.
Birthday today?
Happy birthday, Scott.
Scott.
Scott, who works with Brian Unclis, was working with Margot and Lucky Chap and Brett and Tom Ackerley on the film I, Tonya. He was a friend of mine. We had known each other from being assistants at the same time. He read the script and showed it to all these guys when they were in Atlanta shooting Tonya, and came back and they said, we want to develop your script with Margot Robbie's company. And I said, my staffing sample? Oh my God. It's like, I was just trying to get a job on New Girl. I was like, and they were like, no, it's a TV show. I was like, it's a staffing sample. They're like, it's a TV show. So they were right.
Wow. That's something you need to write a book about this already. And then how did you decide on Dollface? Were you called Dollface by an ex, or where did that come from?
That's like Dennings.
Really? Okay, Kat, tell us.
It was a pet name that my big relationship man called me. I did check with him to make sure it was okay, and he loved it, so you're welcome.
I love that. And Kat, you also said that reading Jordan's script was like opening a window into my own brain, which I love. So what did you relate to most when you read the pilot?
Like Jordan, I have been a Jules. I have, bless you. You know, I too am allergic to my answers. Jules kind of loses herself in her relationship and has kind of lost her close friend circle along the way. And I've done that. I've had friendship breakups and get back together dramas, and I think it's a really beautiful part of being a human person, man and lady, and I think it's important to show.
Brenda, you said that Shay's character is your spirit animal.
Oh, yes.
So,
Yes.
how so?
Because Stella has no fear, and I think there's something very admirable about that, and I wish I was more like that. But I think it's actually funny, someone had asked a question earlier, that we are actually kind of our characters in our friend group. Like, I am definitely the Madison of the group, and I think Shay's definitely
Prior to
Stella.
this, I was
Yeah, so no, I think it's really fun, and I love Stella. A lot of the things that she does, says, and wears, I'm like, I wish I could pull that off.
You can. You know what? You can do it.
Yes.
You guys have such amazing chemistry. I watched at least the first 6 episodes, and I can't wait.
I haven't even
It's
seen that
so
many.
good. Wait till you see what happens in episode 6. Fantastic. But you guys have such great chemistry. Did you know each other before you met for this show?
No.
This is how good they are.
So where have you guys been the
I
whole
know.
time?
Instant love connection, though. Yeah.
Wait, what's your name again?
I also, as I was researching the show a little bit, so many articles refer to the show. They say it's about female friendships. And then I was at the TCAs earlier this summer when you guys had a panel, and Brenda and Kat, I think it was both of you that mentioned, why do we need to call it female friendships? Why can't we just say friendships? Which I've been now trying to pay attention to that as well. Talk to me about the importance of that, and do we just need to drop it and just be like, it's just friendship, guys. Like, it doesn't matter if we attach female or male to it. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, to me, feminism is equality, and so why worry about it, man? I did have a glass of wine back then.
We both did, so
Yeah.
please bear with us. You too, right, Shay? But I think at the end of the day, these stories and the stories we're telling are so relatable that you can throw the gender aspect out the window. Because at the end of the day, the friendship is what drives this show, and these characters are so distinct and themselves that I feel like people watching, whether you're male or female, can find qualities in each of these characters that you can relate to. And I think that's what's important to kind of come across, is that it doesn't matter if you're male or female. It's like, this is about friendship and about life.
Yeah, it's so true. I don't think this is a spoiler at all, but in episode 2, there's a great conversation. I think it's between. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. I think it's between Jules and Madison, where you guys are talking about defining the terms of just a friendship. This is okay, right, Brett?
Yes.
In the same way that we sometimes want to define romantic relationships.
DTR.
Yeah. So
Define them.
I thought that was so relatable. What other particular topics are you excited to explore throughout the series that you feel like maybe other shows haven't hit on as realistically as this show is?
Lying.
Is that a spoiler?
No, I mean, not that general word.
Well, I think it's about, I really think this show especially, everybody really goes through their own secrets, issues, self-discovery, and even within in your friend group, sometimes your best friend doesn't know your deepest, darkest secret, and we do a bit of that on this show, and I think it's important to be able to not only, to watch someone struggle with being honest in a friendship and with yourself, but just in general. And I really think that we deal with a lot of that on the show, and it's about accepting, your friends for who they are. And the thing about a great friendship is, even if you don't talk for 6 years or 5 years, and you see each other again, it almost feels like those 5 years disappear. And you get a little bit of that, especially in the arc of the show.
Yeah. A
What about you?
Um,
What are some of the topics you're excited
a topic. One of my favorite episodes kind of takes the concept of slut shaming and turns it on its head a little bit, at least among my group of friends. We're all very pro, like, putting ourselves, like, dating, but then, like, coming back to our core group of friends, and so we sort of do an episode that's monogamy shaming as the new slut shaming, where, like, the worst, most tragic thing that you could do is, like, get into another relationship and leave your friends, as opposed to, like, dating too many people. So I'm excited about that.
Brent, Ira, how much involvement do you guys have in terms of these stories? Like, I met your daughter backstage. Do you talk to her about, like, some of the things she's going through, or I don't know. I mean, I'm just curious, like.
I mean, you know, it was supposed to be a secret that my daughter was the like, test subject for all the shows. But I have a 19-year-old daughter who's sitting in the back there, and you know, Sarah.
Poor Sarah's like, wow.
Why did I go to college for this?
And you know, I know a lot about producing television, but the proof is in the pudding about whether it's, you know, it feels authentic and cool and funny and weird and all the things we're going for. And so I do run them by Sarah, because, you know, certainly like if, you know, young women should, you know, it's certainly aimed at them, but not that everyone can't enjoy the show. I mean, I sparked to it the moment I read it, just because like my friends have always been incredibly important to me, and so anything about friendship in general, how important your friends are to you, is something I gravitate towards. And then the unique storytelling in this made it feel like a different way of going about it, and so I was all in right away.
Yeah, I was thinking to myself as I was watching, I wish I could have shown this to my best friend, because she was one of those that she met a guy and got married and completely dropped all of her friends. And I remember saying one time, like, I want to do one of our sleepovers again, one of our girls' nights. She goes, no, I don't think that's appropriate anymore. And she was 25, and I was just like, what? And I wish, like, we're not friends anymore, but I just, like, wish
No
I
wonder
could
why.
show her. Well, there was other reasons. But anyway,
tonight, right now.
Esther has
Yeah.
been thinking that with her.
One of my girlfriends is in the audience. I slept in her bed on Saturday. Hey, girl.
But you need those relationships, and that's so important. It doesn't matter if, you know, you go enter into a romantic relationship. You have to keep those, you know, and she just, that was not a priority.
We're gonna blow up her spot.
I know.
Where is she? Let's just all go.
Everyone.
Get these two back
That'll
together.
be the after show. I want to talk to you guys, producers especially, Jules' alternate reality that we see. By the way, did you guys recognize Beth Grant as the cat lady?
Yes.
I adore her, and immediately I heard her voice, and I was like, it's Beth. Will we see Beth, by the way, like as a normal person? Is that the
I
goal
don't
to
think
see
so.
her eventually?
We
You'll have to watch.
can't, that's serious, we can't
Yeah.
confirm or deny that at all.
It's gonna be like the nanny from Muppet Babies, right? Where we see only the whole series, like the legs, and then like at the very end, you'll see who she is.
The next door neighbor.
Excellent Muppet Baby.
Thank you. Talk to me about
If you
why
get to Fraggle Rock by the end of this evening,
I couldn't tell you the whole theme song. I
Okay,
love
good.
Fraggle Rock.
Alright.
But how much will Jules' alternate reality play into the show, and why did you want to show that aspect of it?
A lot.
Yeah.
Say the why part, I'll
The
do the
why.
lot part.
The lot part.
A lot, it figures in, because we love that kind of storytelling.
I'm personally a girl with an overactive imagination, and I think that some of my favorite like movies and television use sort of fantasy and magical realism as a means of storytelling. I love Charlie Kaufman. I love the show Ally McBeal, and I just think it's a way to get inside of a character's head in a really creative, fun, fresh way. And as Ira says, it's a way to tell like a familiar story that someone's seen before in a way that feels like a new story.
What shows inspired you to come? I mean, I know so much is based on what you've gone through, but were there any shows that you watched growing up that you were like, gosh, this is such great television, I'd love to.
I feel like
Yeah,
I've
that's
watched
something
all the female friendship shows, or sorry, not the friendship shows. I am the man. I am doing it wrong. I'm so sorry. I've internalized the patriarchy. I've seen Sex and the City and Girls and Broad City and like these shows that have similar themes to ours, and I think I just wanted to go even more in depth in just, like, I can name a handful of, shows that focus on women and their friendships, but how many things can you name that are love songs and romantic comedies and shows with a Ross and Rachel will they won't they? And I wanted to do a show that was just about that was about, like, rooting for people to end up together who aren't in a romantic relationship, who are best friends, like a true friendship love story. And that felt like a spin on or an evolution of those shows that I grew up being such fans of that were already sort of on this topic in a more specific way.
Yeah, I love that. And Kat, you're an executive producer on the show. Is this your first time having the EP credit?
I'm gonna have to Google myself. Oh, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I did executive produce like a animated thing, but I didn't really. This one I really executive produced.
So what does that allow you to do, and why did you want to have this role at this point in your career?
Well, it allowed me to have kind of just more input where I haven't in the past. I mean, it kind of felt like I had done a show for a while, and I was really interested in doing something really, really different and trying new things and seeing other sides of the camera. And it was really amazing. It was really interesting to see how things get made and how it really is. It's terrifying as an actor. I'm never auditioning again, ever. But you guys all got it, so it doesn't matter.
But I will say though, because you're an actor, I think that makes you a very different kind of EP. Like, thank God Kat was an EP. I think we went to Kat for everything. You guys were amazing. We love you. We love you all. No, but it was right. No, but the thing about it is because Kat is on both sides, so it felt really relatable to be like, oh wait, what do we do here? And she was able to really toe that line in such an amazing way. Like, I don't know how you did it, and thank God for you.
Come on.
You know it's the truth. Shush.
Do you have any interest in writing or directing eventually? Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, Brenda
and
says
I
yes.
don't want to talk about stuff before I do them because it feels like like it's bad. You know what I mean? Like if you let it out, the balloon, you pop the balloon and then it's gone forever.
I don't know.
Sounds like a yes.
Yes, I love that.
It's gonna make a great disaster.
Yeah, pop up a little.
Yeah, pop a balloon. If you talk about the thing that you are doing too much, then it's not exciting for you anymore. Or that's how I am.
She's trying to tell you she's Jewish.
Yeah.
Now I understand why. I forget who said it, that Esther cracks everybody up more than anybody else, and I just met. I'm like,
You don't know what's going to come out of her mouth.
well, yeah.
Everyone in this cast is hilarious.
Yeah.
Everyone of us.
Oh my God. What was your process like for auditioning? Because your role just keeps getting bigger throughout the series. So.
I read this script and I was like, okay, a loser desperate to be accepted. I got it. I auditioned. Brenda and I were in the
Back to
same
back.
audition,
We were
and-
actually back to back, weren't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my God, is that Brenda's song?
Oh my God. How dare you?
And yeah, we auditioned together. I remember the day in the room.
I do
They were
too. I
really
did too.
behind, and I was like the bitch, like, what's taking so long? But yeah, I don't know. I just, as soon as I read the script and read the role, I actually got my agent sent me the script the day I found out my own show was canceled, and it felt like this magical thing. I was like, oh, this is the role I'm supposed to play. Like, this is me on the page. And yeah, and obviously working with Kat, and when I tested for the show and she was in the room, I left and called her mom, like, I just met Kat.
What?
Oh, I did the same thing.
What?
Like, we're gonna be friends with her forever.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I run Kat Dennings fan source.
Yeah,
No
and the four of us are a little bit obsessed with each other.
Yeah.
And
I stalk Shay on Instagram all the time.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
yeah.
Well, it's because you have like 35 million followers. I mean, it's amazing.
They're all just me on a different
By the way, are we going to see your characters enter into relationships and then try to balance it out? Almost become like what Jules did. Will we see that at all? Shay, what
I
can
don't
you
know,
say?
will we guys?
We're gonna see lots of things over the course of the season.
great things that happen in relationships. And
Yeah, we kind of made a point to not have the first season focused on like the typical like, oh, I met a boy, I hope he likes me kind of thing. I mean, there's some romance, but it's really centered on the female friendship. We were very disciplined mostly about that, except for that sometimes we slip. We're like, oh, he loves me.
Yeah.
But as the show goes on, I think the test will be of the friendship group of like what happens when significant others come in and out of your lives, and like how do you keep that friendship group together? Because everyone's had that like, oh, he or she met someone,
Right.
and we're not seeing them anymore, and
I'm happy with how much real estate we dedicated to the girls and their relationships with each other.
I love that. But will Jules' ex be like Stanley on the Golden Girls, where he just
Amazing. Oh, the best full. I hope so.
Your TV vocabulary is extraordinary.
My first word was MASH because I heard my parents literally.
Oh my God.
You have no idea. When I was like 16 months old, my parents, they were watching MASH, and I recognized theme songs, and all of a sudden they hear from the monitor. I mean, it only made sense, right? Like, there's only one path after that. Speaking of other television shows, though, the cameos. Just even in the first episode. So I don't know if you guys recognized, the band Haim, Esther. She was in it, and then you guys play one of their songs at the very end, which I love. And then Dave Coulier shows up in this scene with Shay, which is so bizarre but amazing. How did these cameos? Who's friends with Dave here? Like, who call him up?
Now all of us. With Esty, it's a cool story. So I don't normally write music into a script because you write the script and you think when it gets produced you'll figure the music out later. But that's one of my favorite songs, and it has always reminded me so much of the story and the relationship with Jules and Madison. And I figured that's a love song that was probably written about a guy, but it just reminds me of this so much I have to write it into the end of the script. And then I ended up meeting Esty, and I said that to her. I was like, oh, I really want to use Want You Back in our show. I know it's probably about a boy, but like it reminds me of these two girls. And she was like, no, I wrote that about a female friend of mine from childhood who I lost touch with. It really is about the relationship between two female friends. And she said everyone assumes it's a love song. So then I was like, okay, well now we have to use it. And then Lucky Chapter, Brett was meeting with Esty.
yeah.
And
Many words here.
Yes, we met with we were meeting with Esty for something else, as companies do, and we basically
showed her the end
we showed her the end, and then asked if she wanted to come in.
And she like we showed her part of it that we had shot, and she like absolutely loved it. And so her and I were talking, and I was like, you should be in it, like we should do a cameo. And so that's how we ended up with
She's
that.
hilarious.
She's
She's
great.
an incredibly talented person.
So awesome. Well, how about Dave? Where did that?
Well,
he's so
he's-
awesome. We can't forget little Joey.
we wanted to use his song in the end.
Dave Coulier is the loveliest, right? Shay?
He's
The
so
best.
lovely.
We needed a sweet man that you wouldn't be afraid would take advantage of somebody when they were drunk, and that's Dave Coulier.
That's Dave Coulier.
He's like that in real life as well.
He is. He's the nicest man. Lived in Detroit and flew out for us.
He does a lot of sounds, right, Shay?
He does a lot of sounds, a lot of impersonation.
Yeah.
But I was just trying to sit there the whole time being like, oh my god, oh my god. Like never in my life did I think I'd be able to play opposite him. So it was like, it was really
You
exciting.
guys were very cute.
How many french fries do you eat? 100.
What did you film? Was that at a restaurant here in LA?
Oh, yes.
Margaritaville.
Margaritaville?
Yeah.
If Universal City was?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been
The floor
either.
was so sticky, our marks wouldn't stay on it. That's how we were
We
left.
ate so much junk food that day because there's so much junk food at
Voodoo
City Walk.
Donuts,
We had Voodoo Donuts, we had
Taco
Taco Bell.
They have Wetzel's pretzels.
Oh,
Oh, I
yeah.
did.
We
I
had-
did. I had a lot of Wetzel's pretzels.
That was a day in Margaritaville.
Wow. What else can you tease about cameos? I know there's some floating out there in the interweb, but what else can you tease throughout the season? Okay, Kat, go.
That one.
Yeah.
Okay. My boss at the company Womb is played by the beautiful and incredible Malin Ackerman, who is incredible. So funny, so amazing. There are lots of other ones though. Who are we allowed to?
That's it.
You know, Goran Viznik. Goran Viznik comes in.
Punk, noted
Oh,
punk.
beyond.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very lucky to have him. Very, very funny.
Very funny.
Yeah.
Very handsome.
Great doctor.
Oh.
Staring at Ira for who else.
Emmy-nominated Michael Angarano.
Oh,
yes.
He's also incredible.
Oh,
on the
man.
show. No one's gonna expect what he does on the show.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you. I'll just tell you there was incredible dedication.
Yes.
Wow.
Probably the best moment to be seen filmed during the entire season.
Oh, yeah.
I
It's
will,
a highlight.
without telling you anything else about the specific cameo, I will tell you that the girls had not seen Michael run the scene in the way that he did it when we shot. So their reactions are
Real.
very different.
Yes.
I don't think I'm supposed to say this one.
No, Ira.
I think y'all might be very surprised to see Christina Pickles, who played Monica's mom on Friends.
Oh, I like it. What about Beth Bears?
But Bears is a Dollface?
Which
It's so secret, even I
Any
don't know.
chance? I don't know. I don't know. Any chance?
Well, you'll just have to
You'll see.
watch and see.
I can't. There's some really amazing cameos. I will not say who else is coming, but I will tell you all backstage because I accidentally walked into one of your scenes and did not know it was for Dollface. Oh yeah, I was on the phone with my dad and I was like,
You're a cameo.
not really. You don't see me, but I literally walked in and I was on the phone with my dad and I was because I left the office to go pick up a burger and walking down the street and. What the hell is happening?
Episode 6.
I'll tell you backstage. But
I know where
it's
you
so
Almost died
funny.
doing that.
So, but you have to see this because it is. I'm going to tell you backstage what it was. Anyway, we'll talk about that later.
I got so tired during a night shoot that I walked into a shot and just ruined
You
the shot
should. I
while
told her
rolling.
when I first met
I was
you,
like
I'm
looking
you
for like
belong on
a
TV.
bagel or like the bathroom, and I just hear Jordan, and I'm like, who's talking to me? And they're like, you're physically on camera right now. You've sleptwalked into an active set.
I've been doing a blooper reel.
Well, did you catch Jordan's cameo? She's in the pilot.
Oh yeah.
You are?
Yeah, she's the
Wait,
womb receptionist.
This is one, please hold.
Susie, Brett Hedblom also makes a cameo.
Wait, whoa,
Oh, yes, he does.
Oh, in the finale though.
Myself
they
and
didn't show
Scott
that.
Morgan,
And
who
Scott.
EP'd the show as well, and
We
was
all
on
snuck
set
in
every
there.
single day with me.
Good for
We
you.
both we figure in
I
for.
hope you
for a fun little
negotiated welfare.
Brendan and Scott were more comfortable than I was. I was so awkward. I didn't say the words. I just mouthed them, and Matt was like, our director was like, "You didn't say anything," and I had to ADR it after. I had to separately record the
Money,
audio.
I think, right? You have to go back and do it. Don't they pay you again?
I
should all
I
do that if you're an actor. Like,
I
don't
have.
like mess up and then you have to go back and you get paid again. Okay, no, don't do that. Last thing for you guys, because the chemistry is so amazing on the show with the four of you and then the extended cast, and it's just great pairings. This is where Ira comes in. By the way, Ira wrote I have to say this, one of the most iconic episodes of television ever on Friends. He wrote the one where no one's ready, where Joey wears all of Chandler's clothes and does the lunges, and Rachel's doing her correspondence, and then Ross almost drinks the fat, and everything else. I mean,
Do the
this
line.
man.
Do it.
Which
Do the
one?
line.
Which one?
Could I?
Could I be wearing more clothes?
That's right.
Ira's written a lot of my favorite Friends jokes.
Brilliant. So, since you have written for some of the greatest pairings, whether it be Joey and Chandler's friendship or Monica and Rachel's friendship, is there a secret sauce to creating these amazing friendships that we see on TV? What makes
Ira.
them so special? Like, what is it? Because you are responsible for some of the most iconic pairings. I'm not
We're
talking
talking about How I
about
Met Your Mother too. Do you think I was responsible for those?
everything. Yes. So, like, what is the secret sauce? Tell us.
Cast in television, cast is everything. It's everything. You cannot have a show without a great cast. You cannot have one. You can have the greatest writing in the world. If you don't have the cast, it won't succeed. You can even have mediocre writing and have a great cast and have a shot at it. You have to have like the best of the best. And we have the four of them right here. Like, you have to have the best of the best in terms of acting ability.
I know. Oh yeah. I like being facetious.
Guys, I've seen the 6 episodes. You're amazing, really.
Yeah.
You're fantastic.
They make it all better.
We got very
We
lucky.
write it and they just make it better.
You have to find the best of the best. That's the only way a TV show is going to work. It's without fail.
I love that. Last thing, because they're wrapping us up, I would love every one of you to tell me who is your favorite TV friendship. Is there a TV friendship you watched growing up that you thought, I wish I had that friend in my life. I wish I could do stuff with that friend like they're doing it. What was the TV friendship that most influenced you growing up?
Can I go first?
Go first.
So that way none of mine will be taken. This may date me, but Abraham Lincoln. I like Richie and Fonzie. That's my favorite friendship ever. It's like Fonzie had his back, and Richie was a nice guy, and he softened Fonzie. I thought it was where as a little kid, that's where it all happened.
I love that. That's so great, Jordan.
Mine sounds cliche because we were just talking about it, but Monica, Phoebe, and Rachel was the group I was desperate to be part of.
I love that.
Not cliche. Not quite growing up, I was a little older. It's definitely Seth Cohen and Ryan Atwood.
I almost gave that answer.
From the OC, which
Yeah.
is a beautiful friendship
great.
that pays off in spades.
Yep.
By the time it ends.
Kat?
Well, childhood, right?
And just
Well, I have my answer, so it's from childhood.
Okay, go.
I wasn't allowed to watch TV as a kid because it made me hyper. Well, see, Mom, this is what happens. You become an actor. You watch TV. I watched a lot of Sharon, Lois, and Bram. Anyone? Yeah. One clap. It's a weird, culty, maybe, who knows? Canadian? It's a really cute. Cagney and Lacey. What? I'm sticking with Sharon, Lois, and Bram.
I love it.
I like it.
They're
Mine's probably weirder than yours because
What is it?
from childhood, mine is Fred Rogers in the world. I just want to be Fred Rogers' friend. I wanted to be his friend, and I love just how happy he is with everyone. His friendship with everyone. I want to be in that world.
We're so similar.
Are we weird? Are we weird? Kind of weird answer.
Yeah.
But I want to be friends with Fred Rogers.
Yeah.
you
Well, I'll
guys
take
are
Bob
both
Ross.
weird.
I'll be his I'll be his easel. I'll be the canvas. I'll be Bob Ross and cleaning his brush. That's the friendship I want.
You guys were gonna say the Golden Girls, but you didn't.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
They're
yours?
Grace and Frankie. You know, they're Grace and Frankie to me. That's what
Yeah.
knitting, talking about cats. I would have to say Will and Grace.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Oh, that's one.
That's a good answer.
Esther?
I would say Lucy and Ethel.
Oh,
You and I are weird. No one said anything when I said Fred Rogers. They was
I was been on it.
Do you know what mine is? I was thinking someone was gonna take it. Mary and Rhoda.
Sure.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, totally.
Can't go
Well,
wrong.
guys, this has been such a pleasure.
Thanks.
Next time we'll bring in the popcorn and more wine for you guys.
No more wine.
No, never mind. Okay. Remember, all 10 episodes drop on November 18th on Hulu. And thank you guys so much for a really
Thanks for
fun
coming,
evening.
everybody.
Thank you.